Sometimes Twitch has issues with my phone, but that's fine. I'm just gonna keep kind of chatting a little bit, see if anyone comes. We got 3 people back. Okay, I think we had somewhere around 3 to 6, so that should be good. Hey guys, welcome back. I don't know why it kicked me out. Where was I? It might be because someone called me. I wonder if that like interrupts, but I guess I could put my phone on Do Not Disturb real quick. Let's put it on Do Not, not that. Do Not Disturb. Okay, so I think they just opened the lightsaber thing last month because the lightsabers is a little bit more of like an experience. It's definitely not like the Droid Factory. You kind of just go in and pick up parts, and I think you have to pre-select your parts before you start building just to make sure that hands aren't all over everything. The lightsaber though is totally an experience. There's an actor performing, and it's all about the people you're with. So I think they just opened that up last month. Anyway, Magic Kingdom, we walked in and it was legitimately empty. Like if you go back to my Instagram, there in my Instagram I have my highlights of day 1, day 2, day 3, where I kind of break it down and you can see what the parks were like. It was incredibly empty. It was insane how empty it was. I've never seen Magic Kingdom that empty. I mean, Judah was able to, I probably could have let him just walk around. If it was always that empty and it wasn't coronavirus, I probably would have just let him walk, but we had him on a leash. My poor 18-month-old. Because it's just, people are crazy these days, so we're just keeping him safe. But hopefully we'll get some people back on. Come back, guys. Come back. Come back. Twitch is weird. Twitch hates me sometimes. Take a bite of my food. So walking into Magic Kingdom, we had to go to guest services first. But walking in, empty. We went shopping for a bit. They don't have any of the, yeah, stream died. I don't know what that was. My phone just was like, hey, do you want to share your stream? I was like, wait a second, I'm not streaming anymore. Lovely, thank you. You can't meet any of the characters. It really stinks. It's really sad. We've met Tinkerbell every time that we've been there. Except maybe once, but like we love Tink, clearly. Look at my username. We shopped for a little bit and then we walked out. I was expecting there to be no parades because they said they were trying to keep things away from crowds. So there's no shows, no parades, no character meet and greets. Hey Yeet Goat, I'm pretty good. How are you? Thanks for coming by. My stream gave up a second ago, so we're like back on it again. We're talking about Walt Disney World, what it was like in July when I went during coronavirus, and kind of what we did and things that we saw and experienced. So thanks for popping by. We shopped for a bit, and then we walked out of the shops, and there was they call it a cavalcade, so it's not really a parade, but basically it's like a car float that you'd see in like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the characters were just sitting on it, and they're different characters each time. We got to see like the Sensational Six, which is Mickey, Goofy, Donald, Daisy, Minnie Mouse, and Pluto. Are like, they're the Sensational Six. And they came all the way down Main Street, USA, which is the main walkway in Disney World. Walked all the way down, and then they went off in their little area, and then they would come out and they'd walk around, and they would stand up by the train station, and they would kind of dance and party a little bit, which was really sweet to get to see Mickey Mouse and how special it was. And my son is now at an age that he recognizes Mickey Mouse, because he loves Mickey. So it was so good just to be able to see him in person, even if I couldn't like go up and hug my Mickey Mouse and get my Mickey Mouse hug. We kept walking. We went to the carousel because I've actually never been on the carousel at Disney. It's the Prince Charming carousel. It's one of the oldest attractions. Little Disney trivia, just so you know. The oldest ride in all of Disney history is the carousel out in Disneyland in California. That is actually from like the 1920s. It's from the carnival that Walt Disney himself used to take his daughters to, and he would take his girls on that carousel, and so they actually bought it from them and then brought it into the parks. So fun. Okay, we did the carousel. After the carousel, we didn't get there until afternoon either. We decided to sleep in the morning. We didn't care. Carousel, and then we went over to Pirates of the Caribbean, which actually had a long line because they were cleaning the boat. So every 2 hours, every ride is being cleaned and disinfected, which was encouraging to know that they were actually doing it. Jay Smith, thanks for coming by! I love it. It was the original inspiration for Disneyland, as well as the reason why there's a carousel of Mary Poppins. That is very true. Mary Poppins is one of my favorites. My husband and I, before we were engaged, we were in Mary Poppins, the musical. I'm a musical theater actress primarily. Now I'm doing this. This is kind of like my bringing all my worlds together. I played Mary and my husband played Bert, and we love Mary Poppins is near and dear to us. How do I know so much about this? I am just a big Disney nerd. I follow a lot of Disney Instagrams. I've watched on Disney Plus, they have the Imagineering show. They actually talk a lot about the history of Disney, which is just super fun. Super, super fun. So we did Pirates, and Pirates is, they had a long wait. It said it was like a 20-minute wait. It probably was close to that because of waiting for, I love Imagineering Story Disney Plus. Me too. I haven't watched all of it yet. I think I've watched maybe the first half of what's there. It's so good. So good. Yes, they were disinfecting the ride, which was so nice. After that, we went to Small World, which my son loved. I love Small World, but anyway, so the way that they do the rides too is like every other seat is being used, so that way there's gaps in between each ride. The only thing that I kind of felt funny about is that, so Small World, like the boat came up, the people got off the boat, and they put us in the exact same seats those people were just sitting in. And I wish that they would alternate, so at least some time is in between. Whatever. But they also had hand sanitizing stations at the beginning of each ride and at the end of each ride. So often we would just like hand sanitize everything as we got onto the ride. Small World was great. Went on Peter Pan, which is like my childhood favorite. When I was a kid, there's a picture of me with my parents on the Peter Pan ride, back when they actually did pictures on it. And I think that's most of what we did for Disney, for Magic Kingdom. We did go to Be Our Guest, which did happen to be open, and we happened to get a reservation. I had to call and make a reservation because at that time,